Right now at 10, how federal money is helping Wisconsin residents keep their heat on this winter.
Plus, we hope you got outside today because the weather was quite the treat, but changes are coming in your first warn forecast. Those stories and more just ahead on News 3 Now at 10. It is late October, but you never would have known it today. Temperatures nearly hit 80 degrees here in Madison.
With temperatures this warm so late in the year, you would think there might be storms on the way. Meteorologist Alex Harrington joins us with the first warn forecast. And Alex, are there any out there?
Charlotte, I got good news. The thunderstorms are really out of the area for right now. I think much of the night will be relatively quiet. A couple showers out there. Again, you wouldn't think that it's fall like when you look out here in the patio and all the pumpkins that are around me. With temperatures, like Eric said, all the way up to near 80 degrees. You'd think we'd get some thunderstorms with this warm of temperatures at this point at night. But Doppler track high and dry right now out there across Dane County. Zooming on out, where are the showers? Where are the thunderstorms? They're way to the north now, up towards Black River Falls, north of Camp Douglas. A few showers trying to pop up over portions of northeast Iowa, and our future track radar brings a couple more showers into the area. Maybe a clap or two of thunder from, let's say, Platteville to Madison to Watertown, and points off towards the south and towards the east, and a few more showers up towards the Camp Douglas area. But as we plan your Wednesday, temperatures starting off 60 degrees. We go up to 68, a scattered shower or thunderstorm. We can't rule that out on your Wednesday, but there's plenty more rain chances, as Eric was mentioning in the forecast. Look at the Thursday widespread category for rain. We go down a little bit on Friday, and then more scattered precipitation as we head towards the weekend. But the weekend might not be all rain. I have chilly details and alert day conditions to talk about for Halloween. That's coming up.
Alex, thank you. Breaking tonight in just the last hour, House Republicans have selected a new Speaker nominee.
Congressman Mike Johnson of Louisiana is the Republicans' latest choice. A roll call vote will be held tomorrow morning to see if Johnson can secure the 217 votes needed to win the speakership. He was defeated on the ballot this morning by House Majority Whip Tom Emmer, but Emmer withdrew his candidacy hours later. The House has been without a speaker for 3 weeks now. Also new tonight, Special Counsel Jack Smith has granted former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows immunity in the case against former President Trump for trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election. That is according to a new report from ABC News. Meadows reportedly told investigators he did not believe the 2020 election was stolen. The exact nature of the deal Meadows has made with prosecutors is not clear. Usually such deals provide immunity from prosecution if defendants cooperate fully with investigators and testify under oath. It's an issue for some families every winter, staying warm inside. The Biden administration announced $3.7 billion in funding to help households with home energy costs.
Arman Rahman joins us in studio with how much Wisconsin is getting and how you can access that federal assistance. Arman?
The state will receive over $101 million for the Wisconsin Home Energy Assistance Program. I went to the agencies involved to find you answers on who is eligible and what programs might be available to help you save money on heating bills this year.
I think it's important to use the resources that are out there.
Walanda Singleton is a grant administrator for Project Home, one of the state's many weatherization agencies that serves Dane and Greene counties. Homeowners can get their properties assessed online to see what can be improved to save money or needs to be replaced.
It'll tell us we need more insulation, at what level we need it. We need to change the furnace out because we aren't going to have useful life on this furnace very much. We need to change the water heater.
Right now there are funds available for any Wisconsin resident with yearly income at or below 60% of the state median income, which you can calculate online based on the number of people you live with. But with winter straight ahead, there are things you can check in your home right now to make sure you keep the chill out.
Make sure that all of the vents that are outside are clear of debris, that you don't stack things against your house like wood or other things that they aren't stacked against your house. It makes for a nice place for rodents to hide there.
Singleton says for this recent $101 million in funding, agencies like hers come together and share what services they've gotten asked for to see if they can fund them. So far, she says there's been talk of washer and dryer repair, AC repair, and solar.
There's lots of information out there about electrification, so I think that's something that's going to be coming down the pike pretty soon.
The Wisconsin DOA says if you find yourself without heat at all in the coming months, you should call Energy Services or apply online to get a technician to your house ASAP.
Armand, thank you. And new tonight, a man who was convicted of shooting and injuring a high school student in 2018 is back in jail after apparently violating the terms of his probation. Verona police found 26-year-old Dewan Briggs hiding under a car. They were in the area of South Franklin Street. Again, this is in Verona, for an unrelated investigation. When they saw Briggs and knew he had a warrant out for his arrest, he ran away, but was found later under a car and arrested. Briggs was convicted of first-degree recklessly endangering safety back in 2019 for shooting and injuring a La Follette High School student. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison. A man accused of sexually assaulting a woman on a Dane County bike path earlier this year will go to trial next summer. 43-year-old Richard Cunningham was arrested for attacking a woman on the Oregon Rotary Bike Trail in late March. He's been charged with second-degree sexual assault, strangulation, and suffocation, and felony bail jumping. The assault happened while he was out on bond after reaching a plea deal for a separate sexual assault case. Police said DNA evidence and data from a GPS monitor is how Cunningham was identified as a suspect. He'll go on trial June 10th through the 13th.
In Germantown, the DOJ is investigating after a person was shot and killed by police on top of a middle school roof last night. This happened around 7 p.m. at Kennedy Middle School. The school had programming going on during that time, so it went into lockdown. Officers got a call for a suspect acting erratically who eventually made it to the roof.
Our officers responded to the scene and immediately saw this individual gain access to the roof of Kennedy Middle School. Our officers were able to pursue. Once on the roof, shots were fired at officers and shots were exchanged.
First aid was attempted, but the person died at the scene. At least 50 students were inside the school at the time of the shooting. The officers involved have since been put on administrative leave.
Back here in Dane County, we know who the first candidate is running for county executive next year. Madison Alder Regina Vitiver is entering the race to replace Joe Parisi, who will retire in the spring. She represents District 5 on the city's near west side. If elected, her plans include expanding the CARES mental health program and addressing housing shortfalls.
At the Capitol this afternoon, opponents of a Republican bill to create an independent commission for drawing district maps rallied against that proposal. Members of SEIU, Voces de la Frontera Action, and others are calling on lawmakers to oppose passing Senate Bill 488. The groups claim Republicans are trying to quickly push the bill to give the legislature the power to decide how local voting maps are drawn.
New tonight, an off-duty pilot charged with 83 counts of attempted murder for trying to turn off a plane's engines mid-flight made his first court appearance this afternoon. 44-year-old Joseph Emerson has been charged with 83 counts of attempted murder. In a newly filed federal complaint, Emerson reportedly told responding officers after the plane safely landed that he was having a nervous breakdown and has been depressed for the past 6 months. Authorities say he hitched a ride in the cockpit jump seat on an Alaska Airlines flight Sunday night from the state of Washington down to California, but shortly into that flight tried to shut off fuel to the engines. The flight was then diverted to Portland, where Emerson was arrested on the aircraft. Actor Richard Roundtree has passed away. The actor, best known for his role of a tough-talking private eye in 1971's film Shaft. His agent says Roundtree's career was a turning point for African-American men in Hollywood. Richard Roundtree was 81 years old. Turning now to the conflict in Gaza, Israel says it has launched more than 400 airstrikes on Hamas targets there in just the past day.
Tina Kraus shows us current conditions there and shares the story of an 85-year-old hostage released from Hamas captors.
The day after Hamas freed 85-year-old Yocheved Lifshitz, she described going through hell for more than 2 weeks as a hostage in Gaza.
My mom is saying that she was taken on the back of a motorbike. She was hit by sticks until they reached the tunnels.
Lifshitz's husband is believed to be among the more than 200 hostages Hamas is still holding. The Israel Defense Forces dropped leaflets in Gaza, offering cash rewards to Palestinians who give information on their whereabouts. Hundreds of thousands of Israeli troops are positioned near the Gaza border for an expected ground assault. On Tuesday evening, President Biden was asked if the U.S. is pressing Israel to delay its invasion.
Israelis are making their own decisions.
Inside Gaza, the Palestinian death toll is rising as Israel intensifies its airstrikes.
But the grievances of the Palestinian people cannot justify the appalling attacks by Hamas And those appalling attacks cannot justify the collective punishment of the Palestinian people.
The UN Secretary General is calling for a ceasefire, but the Biden administration says right now a ceasefire only benefits Hamas.
This is war. It is combat. It is bloody. It is ugly, and it's going to be messy. And innocent civilians are going to be hurt.
Israel Defense Forces say Hamas is increasing its rocket attacks on Israel while still trying to cross back into the Jewish state. Tina Kraus, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Jenna Ellis, a former lawyer for the Trump campaign, is now a convicted criminal. She pleaded guilty today to one count of aiding and abetting false statements. Ellis was among multiple Trump allies charged in Georgia over the effort to overturn the 2020 presidential election results. She gave a tearful statement to the judge in which she disavowed her participation in Trump's attempts to overturn the election.
I believe in and I value election integrity. If I knew then what I know now, I would have declined to represent Donald Trump in these post-election challenges. I look back on this whole experience with deep remorse.
Ellis is cooperating with prosecutors who are recommending she be sentenced to 5 years of probation and pay $5,000 in restitution. Her guilty plea comes after back-to-back guilty pleas last week in the cases of Kenneth Chesbrough and former Trump campaign lawyer Sidney Powell.
Well, don't go anywhere. More local stories are just ahead.
Coming up, a new community facility is coming to Northeast Madison, where it is and why the community there is in need of it.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Winner of the Best Evening Newscast by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $200 at Walmart, over $300 at LensCrafters, and over $200 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland,
as in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
It really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Salonpas, makers of powerful pain relief patches for 89 years, believes in continuous improvement, like rounded corners that resist peeling, with an array of active ingredients and sizes to relieve your pain. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
It's jaw-dropping, it's eye-popping, it's gut-busting. It's showtime. That's right. The whole world loves Beetlejuice. It's a rowdy, rambunctious, rollicking good time. And a big, fantastical funhouse. Beautiful. Everyone agrees this show is so good. You've never seen anything quite like. What else do you need to hear? Beetlejuice. Coming to Overture Center January 9th through 14th.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need, because they're a part of them, because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
At Informed Choice Insurance Agency, we're proud of our 5-star reviews.
My agent Matthew explained everything about Medicare. He took the time to show me several different plans and the plus and minuses of each policy.
Get 5-star service at Informed Choice Insurance Agency.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $200 at Walmart, over $300 at LensCrafters, and over $200 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
I'm News 3 Now's Josh Spreiter. I'm visiting the people, places, and events that make this area one of a kind. Tell me what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning.
In the 608, weekdays on News 3 Now this morning. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Plans are in motion for a new library and community facility on Madison's east side.
The Imagination Center would be built at Rindall Park, serving approximately 26,000 people on that side of town. Construction of the shared parks and library facility has been budgeted to cost more than $18.5 million. The city says the project has been in the works since 2016. A spokesperson for the Madison Public Library says resources included at the facility can help a part of the city that desperately needs them.
It's an area with a lot of children. It's an area where a lot of families are immigrant families. Many of the children in the elementary schools in that district are English language learners, I believe up to 40%. So it's an area that has a lot of growth. It's an area that has a lot of need, and it's an area that doesn't have a lot of city services currently.
The Imagination Center is ready for the next step in the construction process, with more renderings of the project set to be shared early next month.
Congress has taken another look at how to stop those pesky robocalls. The Senate Commerce and Communications Subcommittee heard today from business and technology leaders about strategies to prevent unwanted and illegal phone calls and text. It's estimated U.S. consumers received more than 4 billion robocalls last month and 2 billion unwanted scam and telemarketing calls. The Justice Department is being called on to more aggressively enforce existing laws against companies responsible for these calls.
In a civilization in which we can take pictures of Saturn's rings, the failure to solve this problem is not a matter of technology. It's a question of whether the people in power actually want to solve it.
Experts say robocall companies will find ways to evade new laws, and government agencies need to react quickly. The Federal Communication Commission says it is using artificial intelligence to better fight robocalls.
Topping tonight's Health Watch, respiratory illness season inching closer now, and medical experts are hoping you'll get vaccinated. Doctors at UW Health are saying the 3 main respiratory illnesses we'll face this winter continue to be flu, RSV, and of course COVID-19. Across the board, the symptoms are all similar, ranging from troubled breathing, body aches, headaches, and so on. But local doctors say vaccinations for each can offer much needed protection regardless of symptoms.
It's not so much that you're going to completely prevent yourself from getting COVID-19. It's never been that way with influenza or the RSV vaccine. But what it does do is it primes your immune system so that when you get infected by one of these viruses, your course, your duration of symptoms, severity of symptoms is much milder.
And as we move further away from the peak of the pandemic, your insurance coverage will play a role in whether your COVID vaccine is still free. If you are uninsured, reach out to the Department of Public Health for additional help. Bad news for cereal snackers. A new study has found that ultra-processed foods may be as addictive as cigarettes or heroin. Think ice cream, chips, French fries, soda, cake, and cookies. Of course, they're all high in fat, carbs, and sugar. They taste good, but you get little to no nutritional value by eating them. According to this study, the combination of refined carbohydrates and fats has a supra-additive effect on brain reward systems. In total, researchers say 14% of adults, 12% of children are addicted to ultra-processed foods.
Halloween is a week away, but Starbucks is already thinking about the holidays. Here's a look at this year's lineup of its popular holiday cups. Shiny and iridescent. Starbucks says the cold cups and tumblers were inspired by a winter wonderland and calm winter's night. The lineup also includes the color-changing cup set, which changes color when a hot drink is poured into them. You should see these festive cups on store shelves very soon. Sony is hoping to make gaming on the PlayStation easier for people with different abilities. The company is now taking pre-orders for its Access controller. This controller was created with one premise in mind: no 2 people experience their condition the same way. That is why it comes with pieces that are customizable so players can tailor it to fit their individual needs. The Access controller retails for $90 and is expected to start shipping in early December. Meteorologist Alex Harrington is back with the First Warn forecast.
Yeah, Charlotte, back with the wild weather forecast. It will keep going on here through the rest of our work week. Plenty to talk about. Here are the 3 things that you need to know. First, the record warmth that's going to stick around clear through Thursday. On and off stormy conditions. Some of those storms could be strong as well. And then we flip. When we get to the weekend, we go right to cold. And we've got alert day conditions that we're tracking for Halloween. More on that in just a moment here. Doppler track showing that our showers are up towards Camp Douglas, north of New Chester, up along I-39, up towards central Wisconsin. The rest of southern Wisconsin, pretty much dry out there right now, although a couple sprinkles starting to show up here in Doppler track. What we're expecting overnight, though, tonight, folks, is starting to dwindle a little bit. As we take a look here with our future track, we'll track the precipitation, we'll track the temperatures as well in Madison. Temperatures 65 degrees at 2 o'clock in the morning with a couple of showers, maybe a clap or two of thunder out there. Rain chances up there at about 80%. Then as we carry on through the rest of your Wednesday morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, our precipitation chances still at 60%. Look at that temperature. 63 degrees outside at 4 o'clock in the morning. Our normal high temperatures this time of year are in the middle 50s. We dip down to about as cool as we're going to get. That's 61 degrees, 60, 61. When you wake up in the morning, those showers are from Monroe to Madison to Watertown and points off towards the south and towards the east. Then we watch our temperatures start to climb as we go towards the lunch hour. Cloudy conditions, the precipitation chance low, temperatures up around 65, and we'll go up to temperatures in the upper 60s. Again, our normal high temperatures for this time of year are only in the 50s. Across the rest of the area, we'll do 68 in Madison, 68 in Lone Rock, 65 to the north, and Camp Douglas and our friends in Janesville coming in close to 70 degrees. Remember, this is the end of October. With all this precipitation carrying on into your Friday, we're looking at perhaps 1.5 inches across southern Wisconsin. So heavy rainfall is certainly not out of the cards here for the end of the week as we head off and towards the weekend. Bottom line, very mild this work week, yet stormy. 1 or 2 of those storms could get on the strong side too on Thursday. Heavy rainfall, 1 inch or more, and then turning sharply colder by the weekend. We have alert day conditions that we're tracking for Halloween, and this is why. We're expecting unseasonably cold temperatures. The breezy conditions will make it feel even colder. Can't believe I'm saying this, but we may have to be talking about wind chills by the time we get out to next week. So plan to bundle up with that costume. You're going to need the jacket, mittens, and the gloves. We see that here in our 7-day forecast. Look at this record warmth carrying on towards Friday with the shower and thunderstorm chances. And then by the weekend, we go into the 40s, enter alert day conditions there, folks. By the time we get to Halloween, temperatures only in the upper 30s. Look at the low temperatures way down there in the 20s. Look at this pretty photo, though, here, fall photo with a little steam coming off that lake in Broadhead. Thanks, Alan, for sending us that photo. And thanks, Darlene from Judah, sending us this pretty picture here with the fall colors. And those fall colors are going to dwindle a bit with all these windy conditions, the wet weather. But you can send us any weather photo. Like to get them on here for you here, folks. First warn at WISC-TV.com.
And coming up in sports, Giannis staying home in Milwaukee. Why the decision to sign the extension was an easy one for the two-time MVP. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Introducing Hy-Vee Perks prices. Hy-Vee shredded cheese, H Perks price only $1.99. Sugar, H Perks price $2.88. And Charmin 12 Mega Rolls, H Perks price $13.97. Make the switch or sign up today. It's free and easy.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection is here 24 hours a day.
7 days a week for all your residential and commercial plumbing services.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, we've got you covered.
Visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Get 11% off everything at Menards. Turn any room into a modern space with Mastercraft pre-finished moldings. These moldings save time and are an easy way to add beauty to your home. Right now, all Mastercraft molding products are 11% off. Complete your interior project with a new Quickset door lock. This satin nickel Pismo privacy lock features a contemporary design and is perfect for bedrooms and bathrooms. Now just $25.98 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Lately, we've all had to do more with less. At Chevy, we just want you to do more. So we continue to make affordable vehicles, like high-tech SUVs, our most capable trucks, and the most affordable EV in America. It's how Chevy helps you do more for less. Or qualified lessees can get this Equinox for around $299 a month. Or get 2.9% financing on all 2024 Equinox models when you purchase.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV.
And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-952-0466 or go to sonobello.com.
This week's Hy-Vee hot deals are Honeycrisp apples, $1.68 a pound. Tombstone, Jack Smacks, or Rising Crust, or DiGiorno Pizza, $2.98. And 6-pack Pepsi products, $3.25 each when you buy 4. Only at Hy-Vee.
The thought of Giannis entering free agency or leaving Milwaukee is no longer a thing. The two-time MVP officially signed his 3-year contract extension to remain a Buck and keep the focus on winning another championship, not the future of the best player in franchise history. And to Giannis, the decision to stay with the team that drafted him was a no-brainer.
I'm excited that I can be here until, what you said, 2026, 27? 26, 27. It was the first time in my NBA career that I didn't know the number of my contract. I just signed it because I wanted to be here. You know, if I can make it easier on, you know, the organization and my teammates and put us in a better position to win the championship, heck yeah, let's do it.
Fresh off a sweep of Michigan Tech, the Wisconsin men's hockey team skated into the rankings for the first time in over 2 years. Up next, a road date with the top team in the nation, Minnesota, and a series that will renew the border battle rivalry. It will be Mike Hastings' first taste of it as a Badger, but he is familiar with the rivalry from the other side during his assistant coaching days as a Gopher, and Hastings knows it's going to be a battle.
When I was hired at Minnesota, I was told there was only one thing that couldn't happen, and we couldn't get beat by the Badgers. So anytime that you get into a rivalry situation, I think you can take records and throw them out the window. Because there's history there. Now, we're in a situation where we've gotten off to a good start. They've gotten off to a good start. And both head coaches and their staffs are going to learn a lot about their teams by the end of Friday.
Braylon Allen was a man on a mission in Champaign. The Badger running back ran over the Illini defense to the tune of 145 yards and a touchdown. And it was a performance that Allen was waiting for since last year's game where he was held in check. 8 carries for a total of 2 yards. And that stat line is something he took personal.
8 carries, 2 yards is not something to be proud of. And some, you know, when you know you have another opportunity to play a team that holds you to a stat line like that, you have no choice but to be excited for it. You know, I knew what time it was when we got off the bus, and they didn't.
And Saturday's a big one for Braylon and the Badgers when they welcome in the Buckeyes to Camp Randall. To get ready for the game, be sure to tune into this week's Wisconsin Huddle. Braden Locke stopped by to preview the game and look back at his first career win as a Badger. The show starts at 6:30 right here on News 3 Now on Friday. We're back after this.
Your first place. How do you get to the top? Just keep on climbing. Yours, Tacoma.
Right now, get 3.99% APR for 48 months on a new 2023 Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
Ivisia Dry Eye Drops. Made with hydrating polymers, moisturizing hyaluronic acid, and revitalizing trehalose for instant dryness relief that lasts up to 8 hours. Ivisia, we see a better way.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Crystexo quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Crystexo is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Crystexo. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Crystexo is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Crystexo if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Crystexo, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Crystexo may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Crystexo for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Who's always behind the scenes helping make safe, regulated childcare possible in Wisconsin? DCF. We're your trusted source in support of quality childcare. Learn more at qualitychildcare.wi.gov.
Dear First Place, how do you get to the top? Just keep on climbing. Yours, Tacoma.
Right now, get 3.99% APR for 48 months on a new 2023 Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
Closed captioning sponsored by Community Shares of Wisconsin's Workplace Giving Campaign.
And Alex is back. One final check of the forecast.
Yeah, busy. Staying busy this whole week. Let's get right to the bottom line with our weather system staying mild all week, then turning stormy. An inch of rain is possible over the course of the next couple of days and then turning sharply colder. We almost go winter-like. We're looking at alert day conditions for Halloween Tuesday, breaking that down. Unseasonably cold temperatures, wind chills, so bundle up, folks. It's going to be a cold one. Maybe you need a dress. A Santa. That's my suggestion.
If you're planning, plan for the weather.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.